Hi, by TheSuffolkRam for our nerds. Welcome to my slightly delayed review of Series 9, Episode 7 of Doctor Who: The Zygon Invasion. As I say in the start of all my reviews, there will be minor spoilers ahead, so if you don't have anything ruined for you now, turn off now. So the Zygon Invasion is a follow-up to the peace treaty that was formed up the episode at the Day of the Doctor, and saw the ramifications. It's opened with a sort of little video montage of how the treaty was formed and what would happen if it all broke down. They called the nightmare scenario, and starts off with seeing the two versions of Osgood, the Zygon and human version of her. We later learn that one of the ones who was killed on the airplane at the end of Death in Heaven was actually it's hinted, it doesn't actually ever say for sure who was killed. It's heavily hinted that it was the Zygon that was killed, but that's also disputed later on in the episode as well. So one Osgood was killed. The remaining Osgood left London and ended up in New Mexico, where she was then herself kidnapped by some Zygon separatists who are trying to basically fight against the treaty and want to be allowed to be who they are in the world, as it were, without having to hide away. So it turns into quite a sort of multi-tiered episode. So shortly after it all gets back together, Doctor meets up with Clara, meets up again with Unit, with Kate Stewart, and they end up splitting up and going their own ways. Doctor goes to Turkmenistan, where there's a Zygon base. Kate Stewart goes to a New Mexico town, where they believe that Osgood may have been kidnapped from. And Clara and Jack, not as in Captain Jack, as in the other Jack, stay in London to try and find out what's going on in London. So it becomes a 3-story pronged episode, which is the type of episodes I really like. I do like Doctor Who when it splits itself into 3 separate stories, allowing to have this sort of 3 groups. It's always why I always like having more than one companion in the TARDIS, because you really need someone for the Doctor to play off. Because obviously the companion represents us, the audience, in this situation. And when you have 2 of them, it's hard to split them up. They can sort of split up, but then they introduce a surrogate companion to replace the one they pulled away. Whereas when you've got 3 of them, you can split them into different groups, and that works quite well. That's why I always like Rory and Amy as companions, because they could split up and create that sort of dynamic. Also, when they briefly had Mickey and Rose on board TARDIS, not quite such a good dynamic, but again, it works. So you could split them up and have a little group, and I do like it, Doctor. That's why I sort of miss a little bit about from the classic series where they had more than one companion. Although they did, there's a lot of time there was only one companion, but I always thought it worked better that way. And I like the fact the episode is in different skews, and we see different storylines unfold, and they are very different. You've got sort of investigation of disappearances in London. You've got investigating what happened in a town. You've also got Doctor trying to negotiate a peace treaty. All works really well. Really great. It doesn't feel much like Doctor Who episode, I have to say, though. It feels very much like I can't really describe it. It doesn't make me think Doctor Who when I'm watching it. It felt very weird, actually. I was watching a completely different series. That's not in a bad way. That's not bad at all. I did really enjoy the episode, which is quite impressive given who wrote it, which we'll come on to later. So overall, I have to say, Zygon Invasion was very good. Fantastic cliffhanger at the end. Absolutely brilliant cliffhanger. I mean, I was hooked throughout the whole episode, and I can't wait for next week because it's built to it's built up the story so well, but not in a very Nami way. It's really done a lovely job building the story up, and I really can't wait to next week's episode. So character-wise, quite a lot of sort of secondary characters in this one, but so I'll just pick out the main ones. You have Kate Stewart, played by Gemma Redgrave. I've always liked her character in the series. I've always liked the way she acts and behaves. She's a little bit odd the first time we met her. I wasn't so keen on her the first time I met her, but as we've had more and more episodes featuring her, she's developed in a nice way. She gets to sort of show her own. She's always played second fiddle to the Doctor for a long time. This time she gets to show off her own sort of skills by going to the New Mexico town, investigating what's going on there. So brilliant. I really appreciate liked her. We also had, I'm going to have to look at my list, I'm sorry. I'm going to have to look at my sheet because I had to write the names down. Ingrid Oliver, playing Osgood. Osgood is always a character who initially annoys me quite a lot, but I've sort of got gradually endeared to as time has gone on. I didn't like her when I first saw her in the first episode, but she sort of, I don't know, she just sort of brought me around. I like sort of this. I like her sort of way she likes the Doctor. I mean, I wish she'd been companion over than Clara. Really, she's done a better job of it. So I like the fact she's in there. She's good to have her back again. I sort of knew they were going to probably resurrect her somehow, but it's good to have her back. You've also got, and again, I'm going to put my list again, Jane Griffiths playing Jack. Not such a big episode. She mainly teams up with Clara to the investigations. She hasn't got quite such a big impact in the episode, but she's quite an important episode. And then at the very end, the sort of twist at the end featuring her was very well realised and very well done. Really like that. Really like that as well. I can't not mention Jenny Coleman. I have to say, Jenny Coleman, I thought was very good this episode and actually showed some acting talent this episode. She's always been very variable as an actress, but this episode, no, I was really impressed with what she could do. I was really pleased with it. So I have to say, they've all come off really good. I can't really think of any sort of bad actors throughout the whole episode, so really impressed. So on to production of the episode. I must say, I had a lot of trepidation. If you've seen my previous views, you'll have known I've had trepidation for this episode. A lot coming up to it because the writer was Peter Harness. Now, Peter Harness wrote Kill the Moon, which I generally consider to be one of the worst episodes of last season. Strange enough, a lot of people seem to quite like Kill the Moon. I've never quite figured out why, but each to their own. I thought it was an awful episode, but a lot of people seem to like that episode. But you're all wrong if you do like it. It was a shit episode, sorry. So I was really nervous about him writing, but actually I was really impressed with his writing. It still doesn't feel like a Doctor Who episode, but again, I mentioned that isn't actually a bad thing. I wasn't so keen on the fact that it was such a blatant take on the whole idea of war of terrorism and radicalisation, especially, and communities and controlling radicalisation within their communities and attitudes to it. I mean, early on, where one of the characters basically says, "We'll do it with our own community ourselves. We don't need anyone from the outside involving," just struck me as a little bit. That's a bit stereotypical, isn't it? It felt I didn't like that so much. It felt a bit heavy-handed. I mean, they could have gone a bit more subtler, but I suppose I can see what they're trying to get from. Other than that, I thought it was actually quite a well-written episode. Very well paced. I'm quite impressed. So, be honest, you have proven you can write a good episode. Just keep it up, and no more Kill the Moons, please. Thank you. Special effects. There wasn't a great deal in the episode, to be fair, but the Zygon makeup is very good. The food effects we do have with the aircraft and so forth look really good as well. So I have to say, quite a well-designed episode. And I think production-wise, it's really good. Nice for the team to always get out of our normal soundstage / sort of locations in England type place out to go a bit more further afield. And that looked nice, sort of trying to go a little bit more outside the world, as it were. And I always like it when they sort of explore the boundaries a little bit. It does make it feel a bit odd, but it works. I like it when we get to see sort of other parts of the world. Shows Doctor Who isn't always confined to Great Britain. But I thought production-wise was pretty well done, so quite impressed. So overall, I enjoyed Zygon Invasion. Not sure I was so impressed by the heavy-handedness of the sort of analogies within it to, as I mentioned in the previous section, radicalisation and sort of ripping from the headlines. Not so I was too impressed by that, but overall I thought it was very well done. I really enjoyed it. I'm quite surprised I enjoyed it as much. I was expecting it to be quite awful, to be honest, given from the writer's pedigree, but pleasantly surprised. So I do recommend it. The series is just going on strength to strength to strength. I think it's going to turn out a cracking series. Let's hope they keep it up. And I really can't wait to next week's cliffhanger. I really can't wait to find out what's going to happen, how they're all going to get out of it, because it's one of those cliffhangers that's put everybody really in severe danger. And you think to themselves, well, guys, how are you going to get out of this? So I'm really, my bit of paper's gone. So I'm really looking forward to that cliffhanger and finding out what gets on. So, great episode. So thank you everybody for watching. I've been TheSuffolkRam from Rad Nerds. If you've enjoyed the videos, please subscribe to our channel. We do put videos up again every now and again. When we can, we record podcasts, put them up as well. We do Let's Plays. Basically, whenever we can get stuff put on there, we do. So I hope you've enjoyed my review today. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to seeing you on my next review next week, where we find out what happens. So until next time, see you later. Thank you.